Hello and welcome to the first in my series of fishing instructional videos. Um, this is going to be about rod or leash retention straps, or as I like to call them, my rod keepers. Before I got my kayak, I did a lot of surf and pier fishing, and I often had to go by myself, and so I didn't like, having, I'd have a line in the water, not wanting to reel it in every time, oh, hey, I gotta go grab something from the store, or gotta go to the bathroom. Plus, even with your drag set light, sometimes I've seen many people lose a pole to, say, a big redfish or something big hitting it, and then goes your rod. So I wanted something just to add another little safety or secure factor, or if I roll my kayak to where I don't lose it, but not so heavy that I can't cut it to get away for safety reasons, but more than enough to secure it in case of your average most circumstances. This was one of my first attempts. I made several of these. They come in handy. A guy liked one so nice it appeared that he took one while I was going to the bathroom when he left. But they don't cost much to make. This is actually weed whacker line that's molded on. I did a wooden dowel. I put in the oven because I made several at once. You wrapped it real tight around the dowel. It heats up the plastic. Then you put it in the freezer to set. There's lots of videos about that online. I did not actually reverse twist it. I've seen other people do it. It does a much tighter coil, much more like other bungees you see. But my main thing that I'm going to recommend is my different clamp here. I've seen ferrules. You can get them at the hardware store. They cost $1 plus for a package of 1 or 2 with a stop. This is a leader sleeve, basically, but designed for the heavier PVC cord, very similar to weed whacker line, used for duck decoys. And that line actually works really well to make this with too, if you are so inclined, because it is PVC. You can make it flexible with heat, and then get it to keep its shape too. It works very similar because it's basically very similar to weed whacker line. But I like recycling things. Old chargers, they get busted or broken. We all know they happen. Very simple. Goes through one side, down the other, and you can either clamp this with a heavy pair of pliers, a crimping set of pliers, or I just take it outside with a hammer to my anvil and I flatten it out, as you can see, pretty easily. The main difference is the cost compared to the standard ferrules. This pack of 48 duck decoy crimps I acquired on clearance for $1.48. So that makes a lot of rod leashes. You lose one, you don't cry about it. It's no big deal. And also, I don't have the stop, which the stop isn't any use to me. Only the little crimp dies are. So these little sleeves are very effective, and they're not very expensive, particularly this time of year when they're on clearance, which is, it's late February now. It's after duck season. So you go to your local store, be it Academy, the Sporting Goods, Bass Pro Shops. I prefer Academy, being Texas-based, and me being from Texas. But they also tend to be a little cheaper. I love when they have stuff on clearance because it's definitely a good deal. But this is great for making rod leashes, your paddle leash, anything like that. Obviously, other sorts of cords or wires, anything with a bungee can be useful for this. I find the cell phone charging cables work really well too. And obviously, you can make your own from scratch if you happen to have some weed whacker line lying around. As far as my carabiners and stuff to connect them, oftentimes to the pole, I'll zip tie it just because that's less space and easier. Or a carabiner just to wrap around a post on a pier and clip on itself again. Very simple. I get a big packet like Harbor Freight. But I definitely like the safety factor of this, me not losing my rods. Very simple to make. Very useful. That's what I really enjoy, is that it's not complicated. Anybody can make these and keep you from losing. Fishing gear ain't cheap sometimes. Rods can, combos between your reel and your rod can easily be $200, $300, $400, not even blinking an eye. Even if you stay like I do on the more clearance bin size, 40, 50, 60 bucks. Don't like losing that. So, very simple precaution, very easy to make. You should definitely have at least a couple to use whenever you're pier fishing or trying to keep them attached to your kayak. Have a good day. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to message me or email me.